What if I told you the calcium pills in your cabinet might not be helping your bones, and could actually make things worse? New research shows there are foods, yes, real, everyday foods, that outperform the most popular supplements. And the most shocking part? They've been hiding in your kitchen this entire time. Let's start with something your grandmother might have had simmering on the stove, but modern medicine almost never talks about: collard greens. Not raw, but cooked. Why cooked? Because that's when their hidden power comes alive. Believe it or not, a single cup of cooked collard greens contains over 250 milligrams of calcium. That's more than what's found in a glass of milk. And here's the kicker: your body absorbs it better. Yes, better than from a calcium pill. Here's why. Most calcium supplements, especially the cheap ones made from calcium carbonate, need high stomach acid levels to be absorbed properly. And many seniors, they're unknowingly low in stomach acid. Age, antacids, and acid blockers all contribute to this. So that $40 bottle of supplements, it may just be passing right through you. But calcium from real food, like collard greens, comes naturally paired with the cofactors your body actually needs for absorption: magnesium, vitamin K, and trace minerals. And the results speak for themselves. A 2011 study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that postmenopausal women who consumed calcium through whole foods like leafy greens had significantly higher bone mineral density compared to those relying solely on supplements. Even the Harvard School of Public Health now says food-first calcium may be safer than long-term supplements, which have been linked in some studies to a higher risk of kidney stones and even heart problems in older adults. But the benefits of collard greens don't stop there. They're also rich in vitamin K1, a powerful but often forgotten nutrient that helps activate osteocalcin, the protein that locks calcium into your bones. No K1. Your body might not know what to do with all that calcium. And collard greens come with another surprising benefit: low oxalate levels. Unlike spinach, which actually blocks calcium absorption due to high oxalates, collard greens are low oxalate, meaning your body can use almost every milligram. Want to take it a step further? Drizzle your cooked collards with a squeeze of lemon juice or olive oil. The healthy fats help absorb the fat-soluble vitamins, and the acidity boosts mineral uptake even more. And let's be honest, it's delicious. Whether you braise them Southern style, sauté them with garlic, or stir them into a hearty soup, collard greens aren't just a side dish, they're your bones' new best friend. And they just might do more for you than the bottle in your bathroom cabinet. You've seen them on burger buns. You've sprinkled them on stir-fry. But what you probably didn't know is that sesame seeds are one of the most powerful natural sources of calcium on the planet. Yes, these tiny ancient seeds contain more calcium per gram than milk. In fact, just 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds contain about 175-200 milligrams of calcium. But here's the real secret. When ground into tahini, that rich, creamy paste found in Middle Eastern dishes, the absorption rate skyrockets. Because unlike many plant-based sources of calcium, tahini is low in oxalates, meaning your body doesn't get blocked from absorbing it like it would with spinach or beet greens. And if you're thinking, okay, but how does that compare to a supplement? You're going to want to hear this. A 2020 review published in the Journal of Aging Research and Clinical Practice found that calcium from whole food sources like nuts and seeds was not only better tolerated by older adults, but less likely to cause side effects like constipation, kidney strain, or calcium buildup in arteries, all risks associated with long-term calcium supplementation. But here's where sesame seeds really shine. They're not just calcium-rich. They're also loaded with magnesium, zinc, copper, phosphorus, and healthy fats, all of which play a synergistic role in strengthening bones and improving calcium metabolism. Let's take zinc, for example. Zinc is vital for the formation of bone-building cells called osteoblasts, and studies show that even mild zinc deficiencies can lead to reduced bone density, especially in older adults. Meanwhile, magnesium helps convert vitamin D into its active form, without which your body can't absorb or use calcium properly at all. And copper. It helps form cross-links in collagen, the scaffolding inside your bones that gives them flexibility and resilience. All of these nutrients are found naturally in sesame seeds, something no single calcium pill can match. Plus, sesame seeds are incredibly easy to add to your meals. Stir a spoonful of tahini into your morning oatmeal or yogurt. Add it to smoothies. Use it as a base for homemade salad dressing. Or go traditional and whip up some hummus, one of the tastiest ways to support your bones. And if you really want to supercharge it, look for black sesame seeds. These are even higher in bone-supporting minerals and are celebrated in traditional Chinese medicine for promoting longevity and strengthening the kidneys, organs deeply linked to bone health and Eastern healing systems. So the next time you pass by that jar of tahini or sesame snack mix, don't just see garnish. See bone armor in disguise. Now let's talk about something that feels like a cheat, but isn't. Dried figs. Sweet, chewy, and totally underrated, dried figs aren't just a tasty snack. They're actually one of the most calcium-dense fruits in existence. And what makes them truly magical is how naturally balanced they are with other bone-boosting nutrients. Here's what might surprise you. Just 5 medium-sized dried figs contain around 135 milligrams of calcium. That's more than half the calcium of a full glass of milk. But unlike milk, figs are also rich in potassium, magnesium, and fiber, all of which help regulate how your body absorbs, uses, and stores calcium. You see, calcium is only part of the bone health puzzle. Without enough potassium, for example, your body may actually leach calcium out of your bones to buffer blood acidity. That means every banana, every sweet potato, every fig is doing more than just feeding you. It's protecting your skeleton. But figs go even further. They contain boron, a trace mineral that's rarely talked about, yet it plays a critical role in extending the half-life of both vitamin D and estrogen in the body. Why does that matter? Because after age 50, especially in postmenopausal women, estrogen levels drop sharply, triggering rapid bone loss. And vitamin D? That's your body's calcium gatekeeper. If levels are low or unstable, no amount of calcium will do much good. Boron helps stabilize both, and dried figs are one of the richest fruit sources on the planet. A study published in the International Journal of Food Sciences and Nutrition found that diets high in boron, including foods like figs, prunes, and raisins, were linked to improved bone density and reduced rates of osteoporosis in older adults. That's huge, because it means a food most people eat once a year in holiday desserts could actually help reduce fracture risk if eaten regularly. But here's something else. Figs are alkaline forming. Why does that matter? Because most diets, especially in the West, are highly acidic due to coffee, processed meats, cheese, and sugar. An acidic diet forces the body to pull calcium from the bones to neutralize pH. But alkaline foods like figs counteract this leaching process, helping your bones hold on to the calcium they already have. And let's not forget the obvious benefit. They're delicious. Toss them into salads, oatmeals, trail mixes, or just enjoy them as a midday snack. Unlike chalky pills or bland food recommendations, figs make bone health feel like a treat. One important note: look for unsulfured, no added sugar dried figs when possible. Sulfites can trigger headaches in sensitive individuals, and added sugars cancel out some of the anti-inflammatory benefits. When eaten in moderation, though, figs are one of the rare foods that taste indulgent and heal like medicine. Who knew dessert could help you stand taller, longer? If you've ever walked down the milk aisle lately, you've probably noticed it's not just cow's milk anymore. Almond milk, oat milk, soy milk, even hemp milk. They're everywhere. But did you know that certain fortified plant-based milks can actually deliver more usable calcium than traditional milk? and do it without the side effects of dairy. Let's break this down. 1 cup of fortified almond milk can contain anywhere from 300 to 450 milligrams of calcium, sometimes more than cow's milk. But here's the twist. These drinks are often fortified not just with calcium, but with the cofactors that actually make calcium work in the body, like vitamin D, magnesium, and sometimes even B12. That's a major win for seniors. Why? Because one of the silent problems with aging is that our bodies absorb nutrients less efficiently, especially calcium. And many seniors are also deficient in vitamin D due to less sun exposure. That's a double whammy. Not enough calcium, and not enough Ki to unlock it. But fortified plant milks fix both problems at once. Take fortified soy milk, for example. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that calcium from fortified soy milk was as bioavailable, and sometimes even more so, than that from cow's milk, and without the saturated fat, hormones, or inflammatory proteins that some seniors struggle to digest. Even better, unlike many calcium supplements that sit in the stomach like a rock, causing bloating or constipation, plant milks go down smooth, making them a gentle option for those with sensitive digestive systems. And depending on the type you choose, you get bonus nutrients too. Avoid versions with added gums, carrageenan, or excess sugar, which may cause gut discomfort in some people. Pro tip: give it a shake before pouring. Because calcium tends to settle at the bottom of the carton, a quick shake ensures you actually get what the label promises. So whether you're pouring it over cereal, blending it into smoothies, or just sipping it straight, fortified plant milk is one of the simplest and most effective ways to deliver usable calcium into your bones, without the risks of pills or powders. And the best part? It feels effortless. No chewing, no chalky aftertaste, no rigid routine, just hydration with healing. When you think of bone health, your mind probably doesn't go straight to turnips, let alone their leafy tops. But here's the twist. Turnip greens, especially when cooked, contain nearly twice the calcium of raw spinach without the absorption-blocking oxalates. In fact, just 1 cup of cooked turnip greens delivers around 200 milligrams of highly absorbable calcium, along with a symphony of bone-supporting micronutrients. And they do it better than most store-bought supplements. You see, calcium from pills is often delivered in isolation, stripped of its natural companions like vitamin K, magnesium, potassium, and the big one, phytonutrients. Turnip greens? They bring the whole orchestra. They're especially rich in vitamin K1, a nutrient that's essential for directing calcium into your bones and away from your arteries. Think of K1 as the GPS that tells calcium where to go. Without it, you risk arterial calcification, not something any senior wants. But there's more. Turnip greens are loaded with lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 powerful carotenoids better known for protecting vision. But research now shows they may also help reduce oxidative stress in bone marrow, helping your bones regenerate faster and stay more resilient as you age. A study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition linked higher dietary intake of lutein and zeaxanthin with greater bone mineral density in older adults, particularly in the hip and spine. And get this, turnip greens are one of the lowest calorie, highest nutrient density foods you can eat. That means they give you more nutritional bang per bite than almost any supplement or packaged bone health snack. But why cooked? Because cooking reduces naturally occurring anti-nutrients like goitrogens and enhances calcium bioavailability. Raw is fine in moderation, but cooking makes the calcium more accessible, and the texture, silky, rich, and satisfying. Add a pinch of sea salt, a splash of olive oil, and a squeeze of lemon, and you've got a side dish that tastes indulgent, but works like medicine. You can sauté them, steam them, add them to soups, or blend them into smoothies if you're feeling adventurous. And don't worry, they're far less bitter than kale, and much gentler on the stomach than raw spinach. Here's the kicker. A lot of people throw these greens away, thinking the root is the only edible part of the plant. But for seniors trying to protect their bones, turnip greens are the real prize. Nature doesn't make mistakes, it just hides its secrets in plain sight. So next time you're walking through the produce section, skip the expensive supplements and go straight for the green bundles that most shoppers ignore. Because your bones don't need fancy, they need functional. And turnip greens, they deliver. Yes, you read that right, dried prunes. The humble fruit, once known as a simple digestive aid, has now been crowned one of the most effective bone-preserving foods ever studied, even outperforming some supplements in real clinical trials. Let's start with the shocker. According to a study published in the British Journal of Nutrition, postmenopausal women who ate just 5 to 6 dried prunes daily for 6 months showed significant improvements in bone density, particularly in the spine and hip, the most common fracture sites in seniors. One study even suggested that prune polyphenols may stimulate osteoblast activity. Those are the cells responsible for building new bone. And get this, NASA has studied prunes for astronauts. Why? Because space travel accelerates bone loss at extreme rates, up to 1% bone density lost per month. Researchers at NASA discovered that prunes significantly reduced radiation-induced bone loss in astronauts, meaning these fruits may be protective under the most extreme conditions imaginable. If they can protect bones in outer space, imagine what they can do for someone here on Earth. But here's the kicker. Most people don't even realize prunes have calcium. And because they also improve gut health, they enhance nutrient absorption across the board, including calcium, vitamin D, and magnesium from other foods. You're not just getting calcium from prunes. You're making your entire diet work harder for you. They're naturally sweet, portable, and shelf-stable, making them perfect for seniors looking for no-fuss, high-impact snacks. Look for unsulfured prunes with no added sugar or oil. Organic is a bonus, but not essential. One warning, because prunes are also rich in fiber and sorbitol, start slow if your digestion is sensitive. But for most people, a few per day will not only keep you regular, they'll help keep you standing upright. So, while calcium pills sit on the shelf collecting dust, prunes are quietly proving themselves in clinical labs, kitchens, and even space stations. And that makes them a must-have in any bone-saving routine. They're small, they smell a bit fishy, and they come in metal tins. But canned sardines may be one of the most calcium-rich and biologically efficient foods you can eat, especially if you're over 60 and trying to prevent fractures. Why? Because you're not just eating the fish, you're eating the bones, and those tiny, soft, edible bones are packed with naturally occurring calcium in its most absorbable form, hydroxyapatite, the exact same structure that makes up human bones and teeth. That means your body recognizes and uses it immediately, with almost no conversion needed. Let's look at the numbers. Just 3 ounces of canned sardines with bones deliver 325 milligrams of calcium, more than a cup of milk and without the lactose, added hormones, or sugar. But sardines aren't a one-trick pony. They also bring vitamin D, which is essential for calcium absorption. Vitamin B12 supports bone marrow and red blood cell production. Omega-3 fatty acids reduce inflammation in joints and protect against bone loss. Protein, vital for collagen production, which gives bones their flexibility and resistance to fractures. Phosphorus, another key mineral for bone density. And unlike many calcium supplements, sardines provide all these nutrients together in a form your body evolved to recognize. That's what makes them superior to isolated pills or powders? Still not convinced? A study published in Osteoporosis International found that older adults who consumed more seafood rich in omega-3s and vitamin D, like sardines, had significantly higher bone mineral density and lower risk of hip fractures, especially among women. So there you have it. 7 calcium-rich, research-backed foods that don't just match supplements. They beat them, quietly, powerfully, naturally. But there's something you haven't been told, and it's just as important. Because while these foods help build and protect your bones, There's a darker side hiding in plain sight. Certain healthy foods that millions of seniors eat every day, yes, even some recommended by doctors, may be silently draining calcium from your bones, weakening your joints, and setting the stage for sudden fractures, stiffness, and loss of mobility. And the most dangerous part? You won't feel it happening. Not until it's too late. If you're serious about protecting your strength, posture, and independence as you age, you need to know what's working against you. So before you take your next bite or sip, watch this now. These 7 foods are silently destroying your bones. Your bones are listening. What you do next could change everything.